Stream is starting, the Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful Monday morning. Might be Monday afternoon, might be Monday evening, it might be Tuesday, it might be Thursday, who knows, wherever you happen to be. Maybe you're in the future. Welcome aboard, welcome to Captain Coder's Academy. It's so great to have the whole crew here. Carpe Test 23, Carpe T-Test 23, thank you so much for the follow. Carpe T-Test 23, thank you for following me today. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got the whole crew. Everyone knows any day I can wake up and code.
Oh, I got that fix.
Thank you for the dopamine. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the dopamine fix. Thank you so much. Sorry, my camera's going crazy. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you here on the... Thank you for the dopamine. Marshall, thank you for the hat redeem. Thank you for the hat redeem. Well, look, we're getting started early today. Happy to have all you beautiful folks here on this beautiful day. Happy Monday. I'm gonna start the day off with the hats. It's right, Marshall. Gotta protect me from that light. Look, you want to know how I stay so pale? It's the hats. It's the hats. We pull them down, protect our ears, take care of ourselves. No one can get me now. Now no one can get me. I'm protected from the sun. Welcome aboard, everyone. It's so great to have all you beautiful people here. We got the whole crew with us. We got the whole crew. Moonids, congratulations on your first, or is it, sorry. I mean, Nerd Waffle, congratulations on your first Moonids. I'm sorry that your fingers betrayed you today. Dram, welcome back to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Moonids, I'm sorry. There was a bug in Twitch. Yeah, I'm sure. Dram, how's your game coming along? It's great to see it. BK, we got BK Dev, folks. If you don't, I keep forgetting BK Dev. Go check out BK Dev. Incredible streamer, incredible up-and-coming software programming legend extraordinaire. Give him some love, folks. Give him some love. Where's my button for the... Hey, look. You see this right here where it says BK? If you want to see how Burger King does their development, you got to check out BK Dev. You won't be disappointed. Not only does BK build all of Burger King's artificial intelligence drive-through ordering systems, he also makes incredible side projects. He's working on a project right now. Or he was, working on your portfolio right now? Feel free to drop some BK, I'm sorry. Feel free to drop some links. Folks, go give some BK some love. We love BK Dev. Mooniz has never written a bug in his life. What's your secret, Mooniz? What's your secret? Siler Atomic, welcome to the stream. So great to see you here. It was so much fun coming by your stream yesterday, seeing you working on the Unreal Engine stuff. I've done so little in Unreal Engine. People keep asking, Captain, when are you gonna do something with Unreal Engine? And I kind of want to get to it. It's just, there's so much on the docket. There's always something else to do. It's just not my primary focus right now, but I want to get there. It's super fun to watch you working with it. Corfless, good luck with your studies, my friend. I know, I need to do it. Never wrote code. The only way to never write it's Marshall. Oh my God. You have the secret. You want to know the secret to not writing bugs in your code? Don't write code. Can't write a bug if you don't write the code. Genius. Absolutely genius. Brilliant concept. Mooniz, I accept the fate of what I write and accept it as the one and true code, the one and only code. Grumpy Game Dev, welcome back to the stream. Folks, don't forget we have an upcoming collab with the Grumpy Game Dev. Grumpy. Oh, Grumpy, get off his lawn. If you're looking for a Grumpy game developer working in VBNet, ASP.NET, be sure to go check out the Grumpy Game Dev on Saturday. The one, the only, Grumpy Game Dev will challenge Captain Coder to a duel to the death live on Twitch. And by death, I mean test-driven development. Be sure to follow the Grumpy Game Dev. We'll be over there on Saturday. CodeMuck, welcome back to the stream. I'm so glad to have you here. Nerdwall says, here, a way to hide code bugs. Just make game about bugs so people say when they're gaming the bug, it's a compliment. True story. True. Marshall, welcome back to the stream. Carpe T Test 23, thank you so much for the follow. And Raptime, welcome back. Happy to have you here. I'm glad you could be with us on this beautiful Monday. This beautiful Monday, folks. What are we working on today? We are continuing our progress on a Pac-Man inspired game. So the crew voted, and they're like, you know what, Captain? We don't want to see no Galaga. We don't want to see no Tetris. You know what we want to see? We want to see a man running around, eating dots, collecting the power pills, and chomping down on the beasts that are the ghosts. So that's what we've been working on. .NET Run. We're using Raylib for C#, and we're having a blast with it. This is what we got yesterday. Yesterday we wasted a lot of time trying to write a codex for drawing our board. We had some thin walls. We got our thin walls to work. We tried to write an algorithm to figure out which piece of the wall to put where, and then we gave up and said, you know what, this is gave up is a strong word. And then I realized off stream, you know what, I have a better plan to do it, but we're not going to do that today. Sigian, welcome back to the stream. We ended up Grumpy, don't be too mad. Here's our board. Here's the ASCII version of our board. It's gonna turn out looking really nice when we make the console version of this too. Can I undo that? When we make the console version of this, it's gonna be fantastic to be able to use this board anyway. So what do I want to do today? What do I want to try and do? Let's see if we can add in. I want to add in an actor. I want to add in a Pac-Man that's inside there moving. Sigian, that's a lot of points. Sigian, that's a lot of points. Imagine all the hats you could redeem with that. Man, 192 hats only. I guess it's not as many hats as I thought you might be able to get. It's only 192 hats. If I miss a hat redeem, someone let me know. I need to make maybe we should make a notification about the hat redeems so I'd stop missing them. Be sure I don't miss them. Okay. Let me get my chat back here. I lost my chat. There it is. Okay. Let's open up a Sprites. Carpe T Test, good morning and good week to you as well. Thank you so much for the kind words. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Let's make a Pac-Man sprite. I guess we could animate it too. I'm gonna make it 48 by 48 to start out, and I want to put in so I can see what the walls will look like. Our Pac-Man can actually be bigger than 16 by 16 because we have made our walls, I keep closing it. Hang on, let's run it one more time so I can take a screenshot. Our walls have 4 spaces on either side, so I think our Pac-Man can actually be like 22 or 24 pixels wide, and that's what makes him look so cool, is he's thicker than everything else. You know, if we have a thick Pac-Man, people are gonna like the way he looks. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Hang on, I want to take a screenshot of this. Why can't I get a screenshot? Where'd my game go? Come back. All right, we're gonna take a screenshot of this area down here. So we're gonna put, let me just take a screenshot of the whole thing, I suppose. Hang on, boom. Boom, enter, copy to clipboard. Let's drop this into, this is, you know what? I realized I'm a genius. I just realized I'm a genius. I'm just gonna, can I do a new from clipboard if I paste this there? How do I do a new from clipboard? File. Is there no new from clipboard? Asprite, why have you failed me in this way? If I do a new what, how big my copy paste was though somehow. It's interesting. Okay, here we are. Now we can draw Pac-Man in here. Taking up a space. Let's draw a Pac. Let's switch our color palette. We're doing CGA. CGA color palette. Let's get a Pac-Man. We're gonna draw a Pac-Man here. A Cap-Man. That's right. It's Cap-Man. It's not Pac-Man. We're gonna do Cap-Man. It's because of the Pac-Man inspired game. Pac-Man inspired game. That's right. That's right. We're gonna do Cap-Man. Hat-Man. All right. So, a Nam-Pac. I thought about calling the game Nam-Pac, and then it's the, let's add a layer. How do I add a layer? New layer. I'm gonna lock the background layer. I thought about calling it Nam-Pac. MJT, I'm glad you're here. Welcome back. How you doing, friend? I hope you're doing beautiful. Hat-Man. Protects you from the sun. You Hat-Man, you know who, Sun Man's weakness is Hat-Man. Hat-Man, you know, every boss, it's the rock, paper, scissors. Sun Man's weakness is Hat-Man. Hat-Man can't get the shield, can't get me. Can't get me. Hyper, I'm glad you're here as well. Welcome back to the stream. Congratulations on your number 11. I'm doing as good as can be writing JavaScript. That sounds awesome. I'm so glad to hear you are feeling as good as can be. That is wonderful. That is great to hear. All right, I'm just gonna do a circle for now. Oh, you guys want me to do a Hat-Man? Okay. We're gonna put my drawing skills to the test, folks. We're gonna max out my drawing skills here. All right, so we have a dot. This is our Pac. Drawing skills to the max here. Drawing skills to the max here. Let's put a smile on this guy. How's that look? How's that look? Do we need one more line here? Okay. Let's give him a hat. All right, hat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So we give him one hat. Boom. Hat. How we doing? How does it look, people? How we doing? We got this hat. This looks terrible. All right. What do hats even look like? What do hats even look like here? Give him one hat, and then we'll give him a second hat. The color palette is so limiting here. We'll give him a second hat as well. I see why you are MJT. Look at my hat guy. Look, perfect. Give him a nostril. Oh, he needs a mustache. Yeah, there we go. The resident bad bear is here. Snabble, I'm glad you're here. Let's put a smile on his face. Want to know how he got these scars? No, I don't. It's okay though. It's okay though. We're not gonna make the Joker. Let's try harder here. All right, folks. How do we draw? What does a hat even look like in pixel art? What does a hat even look like? Oh my goodness, why can't I draw a hat? Why can't I draw a hat? Let's try harder. Hang on, I gotta really look at a hat here. What do hats even look like? What do hats? I know. I'm like, let's see. What do hats even look like? We gotta figure out how we're gonna draw a hat. All right, there we go. I think I got it. Okay, let's try again. Is he going to have a hat? I'm gonna try to give him a hat stack. That's right. You could go simple with a fez. We could add a fez hat. You know, we could put a fez on there. Fez is a good idea. Give him a fez. Boom. Draw a line here. How do we even draw lines? Oh, it's on curve. Let's do line tool. Fez. Just like that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Check out. This is a brilliant idea. Why does the flood fill not work? Oh yeah. Look at that fez. There we go. That's what you want when you're playing a game. Let's give it a little tassel. Give it a little tassel here. We'll go with brown. Brown tassel. And perfect. We got the fez. Twitching order Pac-Man, you type spawn, Packer, spawn, ghost, left, right, over, down. That sounds impossible. Go simple with the fez. I like the fez. How come there's one right? I feel like we now needs a tiny vehicle. Alright, so we got a fez on this guy. Looks kind of like a bloody axe. It looked like a bloody axe to anyone else. I need a fez for my hat collection. It's true. I don't own a fez. Perhaps we could get one. Okay. This looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's see if we can create a little animation for this guy. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna do a file new. File. How big are you? How big are you? Why can't I? There we go. Oh no. I want to figure out how many pixels do I need here. 20 by 21. Okay, so I can do a 24 by 24 sprite. New. 24 by 24. Okay. And let's do an animation on this. We're gonna do an animation. All right, it's Catman. Is the hat on the same layer as Catman? Let's add some more layers. It is on the same layer. I suppose we could move it to an upper layer. And we need to make it look like when he's moving, the tassel needs to wiggle, I think. We also might need to put it slightly to the left or something. But I suppose we can move it to a new layer. It feels like a lot of effort. You would suggest separate? All right. Let's take, oh, I'm on the wrong layer. We'll clean it up. Don't worry. We're cleaning it up. And then I'm going to do an erase. Is there a flood erase option? I don't think there's a flood erase option. Crizzy! Oh, I've missed you, Crizzy. How are you today? Crizzy, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's great to have you here. We are working on a Pac-Man inspired game. We had people vote. Well, we didn't have people vote. People didn't have to vote, but I let people vote and they voted on a Pac-Man inspired game. And so I'm so excited that that's what we're working on. Now I need to get rid of that. Making a Pac-Man inspired game called Capman. Capman starts out with a fez. That's what we're going to start out with, a fez. All right. And we're using a CGA color palette, so that makes it even more fun because we're limited to what I consider mostly useless colors. There's some good colors in there, but mostly useless. Mostly useless. All right, let's redraw this circle here. What happens here? Could you be more specific? Let's see. I'm just going to delete that. We'll redraw the hat. Let's put this on here. I want to make sure I'm drawing on this layer. Hey, you can select same color with magic wand and click delete. Ah, that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Oh, the magic wand tool. That would have been smart. That would have been really smart. There we go. Now we got a fez. Maybe my circle's too big. Let me shrink the circle down a little bit. Let's try that size. How do we feel about this size? There we go. Not bad. The head feel too small. What am I drawing there? This is a Pac-Man. This is gonna be the main character in our game. It's gonna be a guy. It's wearing a fez. Wearing a fez. All right. So now we're gonna add some animation to it. Fozzie, welcome back to the stream. Golly Muscle, welcome back as well. It's great to see you here. Happy to have you here. Thank you for the advice. Let's see here. Points. Add Galley Muscle. 50 points. Thank you for teaching me about the magic wand tool. Why wouldn't it let me add points to you? I think Firebot does not like your username. Let's fix that real quick. We gotta go in. We gotta give you some points, Golly Muscle. I don't know why it does that sometimes. We're gonna edit it live here, folks. We're gonna fix this live. Open the data folder. Okay. And database. Users, we're gonna make a backup. Hang on. Let's make a backup of the users. Backup, and then we need to edited. We're gonna edit this one. And we need to add in, that's not what I want. We're gonna add in at the bottom. A lot of, maybe we should add it at the top. The bottom feels like there might be too many people. Had a lot of people visit this stream apparently. All right, so we're gonna add in Golly, make sure I'm spelling it right. Golly Muscle. And let's get you a new ID here. Boom. Golly Muscle. We're gonna give you 500 points to start you out here. All right, we're gonna save. Okay. And now, bot has to go down for a second, folks. Hang tight. The bot will return. The bot will be back. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know. You guys just can't tell that the bot's down. And then we're gonna change this to users. And we'll restart Firebot. Hold on to your butts, everybody. Dramulx is rich. Dramulx is saving up for that Lamborghini redeem. That Lambo redeem. Points. Add Golly Muscle. 500 points. There you go. 500 points, my friends. Boom. We done did it. Some usernames, for some reason, you're going to end up in here multiple times now. For some reason, it doesn't like some people's usernames. I don't know why. Smab, congratulations on being first since I reset the bot. Congratulations on being first. It does remember if you've already claimed your points, though. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, now I'm not going to know who's actually been here. Smab, I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome back. Yeah, I need the weekly. That's an interesting idea. All right. Let's see if we can add a frame in here. gonna add a frame in here. I know we can do this. New frame. Okay. Lambo. Going for that Lambo redeem. I should Dramux, we'll add a Lambo redeem. How many points do you think the Lamborghini redeem should be, Dramux? How many points is it worth to you? Cap's house. Why does everyone want my house? Why does everyone want my house? People seemed upset with me yesterday when I mentioned I have a trampoline room. People seemed to think that was excessive. People seemed to think the trampoline room was excessive. I just want the board games, Dram says. All right, I feel like a full animation comes with board games. It's true. It's true. It does come with board games. But you can't have it. It's mine. It's mine. All right, let's make a pack. Is that this next to the treasure vault? No, it's not next to the treasure vault. It's also known as the garage. It's also known, trampoline room, also known as the garage. Captain's treasure hoard. Oh my God, Captain's a dragon in disguise. Look, if you're an American, you're basically a dragon. You're basically a dragon. We love to hoard stuff. Yeah, we did finally get the trampoline set up, which was super cool. And it's gonna be such good exercise. It's gonna be such good exercise. At the end of the day, how far does Pac-Man open up? Not that much. So let's start by adding in the last frame. A trampoline stream? I don't know if that's allowed. Is that allowed on Twitch? Are you allowed to stream trampolining on Twitch? I'm not sure that is a thing I'm allowed to do. Why does my Pac-Man look so weird if I do a mouth this way? Put a crazy face on him? I think we will. All right, why does my Pac-Man look so weird? I didn't think that making the Pac mouth open was gonna be so strange. He looks so weird. Why does my Pac-Man look so weird? Am I just not... Hang on, do I have... Okay, that looks a little better. It was looking really weird for a little bit. Hot tub captain, let's avoid the hot tub down. You can also almost stream naked, so you can jump on a trampoline. He looks like the Zit Chris from... Yeah, he had like a weird mouth. All right, so this is gonna be our open here. Crazy, let's see if we can put a weird... I don't know how to do a weird face. Look, I ain't no artist. I'm not an artist. Unity Coder just missing googly eye. I know, I was thinking, that's exactly what I was thinking. We gotta give him a googly eye. All right. The white there on the yellow is really rough. Really rough. You can't even see it over here. We're gonna have to give it an outline. We might have to increase our color palette, folks. We may need to increase the color palette. Look at that eye. Look at that eye. This guy's seen some things. Eyes on Pac-Man look weird. Yeah. This good thing this isn't Pac-Man, it's Cap-Man. There we go. That looks alright. We'll make that spin around. Red eyes! You want him to have a red eye? What about a pink eye? What about a pink eye? Give him the little pink there on the... no wonder he's hungry. Alright. We'll go with that. That doesn't look too bad. Alright. I'm okay with that. That one looks alright. I should have maybe made the eye on a separate layer. Let's do that real quick. I'm gonna move the eye to another layer. Can I do it? Copy, and then let's undo adding the eye. Let's add. How do I add layers? I had the option a second ago. New layer. There we go. Paste the eye in there, so I can sort of adjust it where it needs to go. Let's put it under the hat. Come on. Come on. There we go. Marshall, of course my invite goes out right after suggesting the fez. We got this. Layers are my friend. Look at this layer. Needs a beard. It does need a beard. Does need a beard. Not a good beard, but a beard. Let's give Pac-Man some scruffles. Is that another layer? Is that another layer here? Some scrufflish. This looks like acne. Oh no. What do we think, folks? We may need to change from a let's go give him some no. Oh, Dram. Dram. You silly Dram. All right, let's see if we can get a nice beard in here real quick. I'm gonna add a beard, make him beard man. Hang on, there we go. Does this look like a beard? Look, my pixel art skills doesn't look like a build. It's still early. You can just restart stream and pretend none of this happened. It's true, MJT. We can just start over. Pack me, man. What would make it look more like a beard? Do we need to add? Is it because it's going all the way? Do we need to add these lines back in here? Does that make it look better or worse? And the preview up here is really what it's going to look like on the screen. Needs a mustache? Okay, let's try that. We add the mustache coming around. Oh, that part, the eye's on there. Hang on. Let's fix up this eye. Let's fix up this eye. This eye shouldn't have that. I want to be editing this layer. Nope, not that layer. This layer. There we go. Okay, so now I got the eye. Let's lock the eye. And let's keep editing this layer. Okay, I'm gonna add in a beard. We might need to have an enhanced color palette, folks. We might need to end up adding an enhanced color palette. Okay, we'll do this. I think we've made the beard come down too far. So we would need to, let's erase some of the beard. And have the beard sort of come up like that. Maybe. So it shouldn't go on the back of his head. There we go. That looks like a beard. Hey! Hey, there we go. There we go. That looks like a beard. Maybe even have it thinned out a little bit over here. I like it. I like it. Crazy, thank you for the suggestions. Fantastic suggestions here. Points. And Crazy, 100. Oh, hang on. Crazy, 125 points. That autocomplete almost got me. Rap Time, you almost got some bonus points. All right, so now we have a beard. We do need to figure out how to make it look. All right, so this is the end state. We're gonna have to add in some extra stuff. Kuwani, welcome back to the stream. Congratulations on number 3. Congratulations on number 3. So let's take this eye and we'll duplicate it here. And let's take this beard and we'll duplicate it here. And we gotta adjust that beard a little bit. We gotta adjust that beard a little bit. In this scene, it should come down here. Or in this frame, I should say. In this frame. Looks like a mask. Might need to give... Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Needs a line for the yellow mouth. I know, we need a little bit of a line there. The line... Alright, let's see if we add in... Look at that happy guy. And then on this one, if we... Oh, I'm drawing directly on the beard now. Hang on. Feel like maybe it's okay to put that on the beard. I'm not sure. Hang on. Let's do this. And maybe it doesn't need to be black. That looks okay. Okay. Let me duplicate that in. And the beard will come down and be on this here. Let's clear out this top part and add in some more beard just on top for the mustachio. Make sure you save copies of your attempts as you go along. No, Smab, I like to live life on the edge. I like to live life on the edge. No saves. No saves, only sadness. Only sadness. It's a good idea to save this. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll call this Capman. Alright. Alright, look at that. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad. Waka, 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 waka. Crizzy, excellent suggestions here. Excellent suggestions here with the beard. Excellent suggestion, Marshall, with the Fez points. Add Marshall. 250 points. Add Crizzy. Excellent suggestion. I don't know if I already give you points. Let's give you some more for helping with the layers. We're gonna Nerd Waffle 250 points. Thank you so much for that assistance. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay. Should record your voice. Waka, 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 waka. Yeah, clearly that is what we need. Clearly that is what we need. Okay. So this goes back and forth like that. I'm wondering, I don't know that we actually need, let's go look at the Pac-Man. Does Pac-Man only have 2 frames? Does Pac-Man only have 2 frames in the animation? Pac-Man, free pacman.org. No, Pac-Man has multiple, okay. Of course, this is not the original Pac-Man, but it's gonna be close-ish, maybe. It looks like he has... Looks like he has 3 or 4 frames. 3 or 4 frames. So, alright, we're gonna quiet you off. Alright, so it looks like he has 3 or 4 frames. So this looks like the middle frame. Let's add another frame. Is that Pac-Man with a Shriner's hat? Donald, welcome to the stream. This is Capman. Not to be confused with Pac-Man. This is Capman. He wears lots of hats. We're doing a Pac-Man inspired game, but yes, it is a Pac-Man inspired game. Not to be confused with Pac-Man. This is Capman. All right, so let's go with, we got to open the mouth wider. We need to go wider, folks. And the eye will probably move on this frame here. Does he get more hats than he eats ghost? I was thinking, I don't know what he's going to eat. But maybe we got to, I'm open to ideas. I'm not sure what he's going to eat, but he's definitely going to get more hats. Or at least there's going to be a variety of hats that he can have. Let's lock this layer here, because I don't know. All right, so there's some yellow on this layer I can get rid of. Let's make sure these layers are locked so I don't mess those up. But we're gonna open up the mouth a little bit more here. And folks, keep in mind, I've never done, I ain't no artists. I ain't no artist here. More pixels, I need to make it bigger, more pixels. We need more pixels. The eye's gonna need to move back here, I think. We're gonna have to make the eye move back to get the mouth as wide as we want. And then that means the hat will have to move back a little bit. So, is this the eye layer? So the eye will have to move up. We'll call this eye. Beard. Head. Hat. And then we'll be able to swap the hats out here. We're trying different hats. Travel the world, thank you so much for being here. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday wherever you happen to be in the world. Thank you for popping in. We're in the process here of pure insanity. Pure insanity here. We're updating the beard. The beard here. I like the line tool for some reason. Okay. I do think the mouth needs to open more. Here. This means our head will have to get rid of these on this frame. Boop boop. Boop boop. Ba-da-doo, ba-doop, boop boo. Alright, look at that. Look at those chompers. Look at those chompers. Alright, there we go. There we go. You've created a whole artwork game. You can't play the no artists. Look, Smab, it is called... The game is called the Poorly Drawn Card Game. There's a reason I'm calling it the Poorly Drawn Card Game. I feel like I ain't no artist. I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Oh, look at that. Look at that pack. Wow. Does the eye need to move in a little bit on the second frame too? I think the eye needs to move one more pixel on the second frame. Let's do... The eye currently not moving any pixels. Let's move the eye a pixel on this frame.
Seems good.
Thank you for the seems good. Thank you for the seems good. Thank you for the nice. All right. The eye moving is going to be a little weird, I think. All right, let's... There we go. What do we think? What do we think? Waka waka? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's missing a beard on this one. His beard disappears. Let's put the beard back in. Poorly drawn cap man. It's true. It's true. It's going to be the poorly drawn cap man. Let's get rid of that dot, maybe? I think the dot at the end is too much. Maybe not. We need to add in... Okay, that looks pretty good. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, can we have him... what's the reverse option? Rewind on stop. I know I can set this to be like... Go back and forth? Does anyone know? I've done it before. It's been a long time. Set loop section. There we go. But the loop, I want it to ping pong. There we go. Oh, look at that pack go. Look at those chompers. Look at those chompers.
Whoa.
Look at those chompers. Okay, let's add in. I want the hat feels like it needs to wiggle a little bit as well. Let's see if we can make the hat move a little bit. And then up and one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good looking pack. It's a good looking pack. All right. Pretty happy with that. Let's export a sprite sheet. Let's get this into the game. Yeah, by Rose here. The Hungry Catman, Hungry Catman. Here we go. I'm really impressed with myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting this to look any... Oh, the beard needs to be fixed in those 2 frames. Hang on, the beard is messed up. You see that? The beard. Why didn't anyone stop me? Come on. You guys are supposed to be helping me here, not just let me make a fool of myself. How dare. How dare. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. I don't know. There we go. All right, let's gonna export a sprite sheet. Hang on, file, export sprite sheet. Now we're gonna actually have to load a sprite sheet into the game. Output file, Catman. We're gonna go into our sprite sheet, Catman, PNG. I think it needs to be a specific width and height. Is that not true? I could be completely wrong with that. Let's add in. Okay, so let's create a class here. I'm gonna create a class for sprite sheet. Feel like I want a class for sprite sheet that can take in some definitions like this. Let's create a public class sprite sheet. And the sprite sheet, the types of things I want, basically the method that I want to be able to have is public texture 2D. Is this right? And then I can specify an index, I suppose. And this is going to give me back a sprite on this sheet. It's going to give me back a sprite on this sheet. I can't default for now. Okay, I guess I should have this throw new not implemented exception. So this is the method that I really want to have. I want to be able to load a sprite sheet with the following information. Public static sprite sheet load. And maybe the builder pattern is appropriate here. Maybe the builder pattern is appropriate. We'll see how many arguments we need to this. Builder pattern feels excessive, but essentially we're going to do string path. So this is the path to the sprite. Oh, I can even let's have it be a path. And then we are going to specify the how we want to slice it. So this is going to be a grid-based thing. And so in our sprite sheet, if we open up this file that I just generated, if we open up the file that was just created, I got to do something about my C drive, man. I don't know. Every day it gets a little bit less space on it. I feel like I never put anything there, but clearly that's not true. Captain Coder org. And then we're going to come into our Capman. So this is the sprite I just made. And you'll notice I want to specify this is a sprite. And I want to say, okay, well, split it into row size and column size. What are the number of pixels in the rows and columns? Int rows, int columns. So I want to be able to specify the number of rows in it and the number of columns. And then it's going to give me back a sprite sheet. And then I can use ID. I'll be able to use ID here to specify which one I want. Maybe I give this, instead of an ID, I might give it a row and a column. Int row, int column. That feels not quite the way I want to do my animation, because my animation I just want to increase by 1, but it's all going to be in one. Row column actually makes sense. I think row column makes sense because I might have animations in different rows. Yeah, I'm going to do row column like this. Give it a row, give it a column. It's going to give us back the sprite that's there. It knows the number of rows and columns. It's going to evenly slice it up. So the comment here, given a path to an image file, returns a sprite sheet that is evenly sliced into the specified number of rows and columns. Sometimes you might want a sprite sheet that's not evenly sliced. This one's going to evenly slice it. Give it a row, give it a row, give it a row now. That's right, Prophets. We're going to give it a row, give it a row, give it a row now. How you doing, my friend? Welcome back to the stream, Prophets. Happy to have you here. I thought about maybe doing pink. I'm trying to stick to the CGA colors. I felt like pink would be, we have this color. What do we think? Oh no. That's as close to pink as I think we get. Be a sunburnt calf man. I think I'm gonna stick to the yellow for now. That feels a little bit off to me. Okay, so the way I want to do this is we're gonna load the image. Come over to our board render to borrow this code so we can remember what it looks like here. So it's gonna be kind of like this. Our sprite sheet, I think, is gonna be broken into a 2D array that feels. This is why the ID made a little bit more sense to me. So they're gonna have a private texture 2D array here. I suppose I could do a two-dimensional array. Sprites. Internally, it's gonna have this. And so we have our image. We're gonna load up that image into this path, and then I wanna slice it. Image dot. We know the width, we know the height. Okay, so int. Let me comment some of this out since it's interfering with my autocomplete. Image dot width. It's gonna divided by columns. It's gonna be sprite width. Int sprite height. Like this. So it's gonna slice these. Each individual sprite's gonna have an even width and an even height. We should probably yell at the user if they give us something that has an odd number of pixels, but I'm gonna ignore that for now, I think. And let's go look at our Raylib documentation. Raylib documentation here. One second. There we go. Okay. Go to our cheat sheet. And is there a crop? Image crop. Here it is. Image crop. Crop an image. Oh, this doesn't do. This looks like it crops the actual image. That's an interesting sprite. Let's make this a little bigger. Crop is interesting. Crop an image to the defined rectangle. It doesn't return an image, it actually modifies the original image. Holy cannoli, Proton with the big ol' raid. Proton, tell us, how have you been? How you doing? How's your Amiga Sphere demo coming? Are you still working on your Amiga Sphere demo? Welcome to the stream, folks. Be sure to give Proton some love. Incredible Commodore 64 guru, working on Amiga stuff, musician, graphician, incredible human being. Proton, glad to have you. Pon as well. Welcome to the stream. Look at that emote. I love this alien emote. Look at this. Look how cool this alien emote is. I love that. Well, you're over here, folks. Be sure to click that heart. Give Proton some love. Go check out what Proton's working on. Always making some beautiful stuff. Proton, if you got some links, drop them in the chat. I'd love to check them out. Love to check it out. We are trying to crop. What is it? Great question, Pon. Great question. What are we working on? We're creating a Pac-Man inspired game. We voted on the Twitter. On the platform formerly known as Twitter, we took a vote. And people, the crew spoke. The crew has spoken. They said, Captain, all we care about is Pac-Man. Don't do Galaga. Don't do Frogger. Don't do Tetris. We want the Pac. So we're making a Pac-Man inspired game. We made a little Pac guy now. This is Catman. We made this, so we just finished making this. We're gonna see if we can add this into the game. So we're gonna write a little sprite sheet for our Catman here. So this look, I was gonna do something really simple, and then people are like, you know what? It needs a fez. You know what? Needs a beard. You know what? Slow down. Add an eye to that guy. Add an eye to the guy, and when he dies, we're gonna. I have some ideas for when he dies. For it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Probably, maybe, if I can pull it off. I can pull it off. We're trying to figure out how to do sprite sheets right now in RayLibC, which is super low key. It looks cool. I can't believe how good it came out. I was like, wow, that worked out. I was not expecting it to work out at all. I had no. Yeah, came out good. We are trying to see if we can do sprite sheets. The idea is to take an image and you slice it up. Crop. Let's look at all the crop methods here. Wave crop. Yeah, image crop. We might have to do copy image and then do a bunch of crops. This feels weird. Create an image duplicate useful for transformation. This is really interesting to me. Nerd Waffle, we're not going to do Godot today. Good question. I do want to see if we finish this. We're going to do RayLibC, and then if we finish it, we're going to do it into we need to make a soundtrack. It's true. We do need a soundtrack. Maybe we'll write some music in the TIC-80. Which is always. We wrote some music before. Hang on. Let's go to our platformer. Maybe we'll write some music again in TIC-80. We did write some music that we didn't use. We used that one. Part of me feels like we might be able to reuse the Tofu Man song. Tofu Land song. Maybe we'll reuse this. Make a new one time. Let's see, did we use this one? What do you guys think about this? We haven't, Snabble used this one. Do you think this music is too sad? Is this music too sad for Capman? Speed it up. This one, you think if we make it faster? Here, let's try faster. That's a Death Star theme. Is this too dark for Capman? What do you guys think? Alright, what else did we do? Oh, that's our death sound. Apparently we didn't write anything else in that one. Alright, so maybe we'll make some music for that sound. That could be fun. No, don't save my changes. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes. Okay. We gotta make the game first, though. We gotta make a game first. I guess that's not true. You could make the music for a game first. Needs to be. I know. That's why I'm saying that one couldn't be it. It needs to be faster and upbeat. We'll see what we can do here. Let's take a look. We are doing the way I can think to do it. I'm curious. Let's go look. RayLib examples. Let's go look at the RayLib examples. Do they have a sprite sheet? Textures. Well, I want to look at this one here. Okay, so sprite animation. I'm so sorry to hear that. Please enjoy your nap. Take care of yourself, Proton. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you again so much for the raid. We love you, my friend. Keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be. Take care of yourself. I hope you feel well soon. Have a beautiful day. So we want to do this. I'm curious how they're gonna do the texture. And the texture might have something in there. We might be able to take the texture and then slice it up or something. So we're drawing rectangle. Draw texture rect. Okay, draw part of the texture. This is interesting. This one's interesting. So you can load it as a single texture and you can just draw part of that texture. Oh, interesting. So it's a little bit trickier than what I was thinking it would be. Kovalaki, welcome back to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day. What have you been up to? Welcome back. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. The music just get really loud for anyone else, or is it just in my ears? I think I might have turned my volume up to listen to my music, but okay. So draw texture rect is what we want. So I want to take this image. I want to load the image into, oh, there's a load texture. Interesting. There's a load texture. So in fact, I don't want to, okay. What I sprite sheet. Got my own music blasting a bit loud at the moment. Gotcha. I try and keep my music pretty quiet. Try to keep my music pretty quiet. I know some people like to listen to their own music, but I like to have my own music going. We could take a poll. I could ask people if they like the music or not. I try not to have the music very loud, but sometimes I don't know. I don't know what would be better. I don't know if it'd be better to have no music or some music, but I do try and keep it quiet, especially compared to my voice. So we're gonna load here. I can load this texture sprite sheet like this. So this becomes different. I had it different in mind here. Load sprite. Raylib.load texture. Load texture. Okay, so on this side, I need a texture 2D. I think you have perfectly set because I can hear you speak, but also play my own music. Good, good. So I like that. I like that. Maybe whichever sprite sheet. This is actually Git doesn't work here because it's actually draw texture. Let's look at our texture methods. Load texture from image, from file into GPU, from image data. I don't know what's the difference. Oh, from an image here. If we made it an image first, load render texture. Texture configurations, biotest. I've never recovered my old Gmail. Now I have this account back. Welcome back. I'm glad you got it, bio. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Draw texture rect. Yeah, this is interesting. Draw part of a texture defined by a rectangle. Okay. So then once we have a sprite sheet, then it should just be a void here. Draw sprite. We specify which sprite, int row, int column, int x, int y. This specifies the position on the screen. This specifies which sprite to draw. It might be useful to have a sprite class to pull out individual sprites of this, and it just references the sprite sheet. Again, this is where I can slowly start abstracting into infinity, so I want to avoid that. I want to avoid that. So internally public int rows, public int columns. Make this a Git. Bio, what have you been working on? What have you been looking on? Public sprite sheet int rows. We'll give it. We're going to specify texture 2D texture. Int rows, int columns, and then we'll just assign those here. Sprite sheet texture. We'll call this sprite sheet. Sprite sheet. Rows. Have this backwards. Rows, columns, equal to our sprite sheet, rows, columns. Okay. So that'll just initialize when we load this thing. The easiest thing to do, I suppose, is to load this in, and then we just return a new sprite sheet like this. with our image, rows, columns. Oh, and I called it calls here, columns. One thing I could do is I could cache this texture. Are there any things that modify? We have unload, render, update texture. I'm not going to do that, but one optimization you could potentially do is make it so that if you pass in the same sprite sheet multiple times, the same parameters, we have this sort of cached. I don't know why I would need to do that. Load a sprite sheet here. Futile Diploma. Welcome to the stream. What a wonderful name. What a cool name. Welcome to the stream. What's good? Everything's good. Any day I can wake up and code with the crew is a beautiful day, and today is one of those days. We are here working on a Pac-Man inspired game. So what are we doing? We're working on a Pac-Man inspired game. We are currently, we made this sprite. We made this animation here for our Capman. We made this sprite for our Capman. And we're working on, we're using Raylib. And we're writing a sprite sheet class here to load it in so we can do an animation with it. So we can do an animation. I'm thinking draw sprite here is kind of simple. Let's see if we can draw this sprite here. We're gonna int row, int column, int x, and int y. And we're gonna use this method to see how we feel about it. I have a feeling that I'm gonna want to have a tool that a method that will actually give us a sprite, and we can specify an animation with it from our sprite sheet. But we're going to use this just for now to draw it onto our screen. So we can do a raylib.draw texture rect. So this draws a texture, part of a texture onto the screen. So the texture we're going to draw is our sprite sheet. It's going to be from our sprite sheet, like this. Our top left, we have to specify a rectangle here. We're going to specify a rectangle, and then we're going to specify where we want to draw it on the screen. So this will be our rect. I'm going to call this crop. Then the next one is the position. So I'm going to just call it position. And then the color tint, we're not going to apply a tint to it. White means show the original colors. Let's create a variable here for this. So this will be a rectangle. I believe rectangle here is the type. One thing I could do as I'm filling this in is I can say generate a crop variable. Let's make it a local variable. Let's also make our position a local variable. And so our crop here should be a new rectangle XY. Oh, so what does rectangle expect here? XY width and height. XY width and height. So our X here. Let's create another thing here. Public int width, public int height. And we can use this. We can calculate this during our construction, how big these are going to be. Maybe call this sprite width and sprite height. Futile Diploma says, sweet, I got in software development as a hobby. I have created a few simple apps, currently working with Flutter to create a drawing app on mobile for toddlers. Very cool. It draws page is locked. An app for toddlers that the draw page is locked by parental gesture combination. That way the toddler can't get out and buy and mess with other apps on the phone. That's really cool. So is it an app for doing doodles? I'd be curious what the interaction, or are you just saying it is an app that you run that locks whatever app is currently being used? That sounds really cool. Just for doodling, that sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. Travel the world. Remember, keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Have a beautiful day. We'll be back tomorrow. If you're around, I'd love to see you again. But no worries, no worries. I'll be back tomorrow. You keep traveling the world, my friend. We love you. We love you, travel the world. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a beautiful day. Sprite width, sprite height. When we build this thing, we can calculate the height and width like this. So sprite, hang on, right here. Let's expand this. And we'll do sprite width. It's going to be equal to our sprite sheet dot width divided by the number of columns that we have. Sprite height is going to be our sprite sheet's height divided by the number of rows that we have. So that's going to end up being our sprite. Again, there's probably something I should do here to do. Only allow allow sprites with even number of textures, because we're slicing them evenly. Hyper asks, do you think my general bachelor's in information technology is good enough, or should I get a comp sci bachelor's? Also, should I get a master's in specialized field? I only have 3 years help desk experience. So it's an interesting question. My question would be, is it good enough for what? So is it good enough to become a software engineer? Is it good enough to, what are your goals with it? I don't necessarily think it's a requirement to have a degree, but it can be useful for getting that first job, depending on what it is. I went to school. I went to college. I went to undergrad. I went to graduate school. It can be very expensive. I was very lucky that I paid almost nothing for my schooling, for my degrees. I had scholarships, and I was able to get through it without paying. I remember as a kid thinking, I'm not going to pay for college. If I don't get a scholarship, I'm not going. And I had some plans on stuff I could do otherwise, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. I think your portfolio and your experience as far as getting a job as a developer is the most important thing. Snabble says, we just hired a guy with no degree and only had warehouse job experience. He did, however, have other signals showing a strong interest in software development. That's right. I would much rather hire someone who is a problem solver, who is highly motivated, who has some kind of aspiration and is interested in the work that my company is doing, than someone who has a master's degree in computer science. Master's degree in computer science only shows to me that you had the grit and potentially money to grind your way through school. Because it truly is a grind. It truly is a grind, in my opinion. Futile Development says, hoping to grow to it, creating AI coloring book pages as well. That sounds awesome. That sounds super cool. Futile Diploma, please, please, please. I would love to have you on the Discord, sharing your project with us. What level of progress have you made? We have a showcase. I would love to check out what you're doing. We have a showcase coming up on February 17th. If you want, I would love for you to come on the stream with us. We can chat about that. Maybe I can get BlueStacks, or maybe I can get it on a tablet of my own here, and we can show it off on the stream, talk about it. Maybe I can give you some feedback. You can tell us what your plans are. That sounds super cool. I went to college for business administration, and I am a fire protection engineer now, hence the username Futile Diploma. Gotcha. That's a good name. Hyper, I hope that helps. I hope that helps in some way. I don't know that it is the perfect thing. I don't mind hiring people with degrees either, even if they lack the skills. It's all about the person. The interview is really important to me. The role is important too. What role am I hiring for? It's very expensive to hire someone. So when you're trying to hire someone, you're trying to figure out, is this person going to be able to add value to my company? What value are you bringing in becomes a big question. Degrees can be an indicator. They're a signal that this person is able to complete things. Raptime says, I studied economy for 2 years, then found a job like help desk in IT, and now I'm converting to dev. Gotcha. One of my best friends went to school, has a master's in economics, hated doing stuff in economics. He's a bartender now. I mean, he says he makes more money as a bartender than he ever did doing stuff in data and an analyst and economics type stuff. I find that fascinating. He hated that job. Find the suffering suffering might be the wrong word, too strong a word. The type of suffering he had to endure trying to use his economics degree was not the type of suffering he was good at. He is much better at being a bartender, not because he loves being a bartender, but because the type of suffering involved for him being a bartender is more durable. He can handle it better. And not everybody suffers the same way. Some people couldn't handle that. I couldn't handle being a music teacher. I wanted to be a music teacher, and that was just so painful. How much the disrespect you receive as a music teacher was incredibly painful. I couldn't do it. So I ended up I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a software engineer. I'm going to make lots of money. I've been programming a long time. And then I found out that I thought the state of computer science education was terrible. So I said, you know what? I'm going to become a computer science teacher. I'm going to I'm going to that field. I'm going to research computer science education. And that's what I've been doing ever since. Let's see here. We have sprite height or sprite width. So when we get cybersecurity for life, nice. Hyper, I hope that's helpful. Futile Diploma, my full-time job. I teach, for anyone who's new here, I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me. Me is Captain Coder. And Captain Coder is a full-time, 40-hour-a-week computer science teacher. I teach computer science and programming and music. I teach a few music classes as well at a school for ages 10 to 14. Ages 10 to 14. The school is fully remote, so it is online. This stream started as a way for me to record my thoughts for my students. I was only going to do it for 25 days for the advent of code. People came, we hung out, I enjoyed it so much, and now this stream is dedicated to learning and coding and growing as a community and finding and sharing how to become a programmer, how to write code, how to do cool stuff. How do you fit in streaming as well? So, Siler, I'm making projects for my class. For the most part, I stream the creation of class projects. So I say I'm making educational projects. This is a project that I'm trying to understand how to use this tool, and I'm going to have aka Catman. Yeah, this is hopefully going to be something that I'm going to use as a class project. The last project that we did, we just finished a project on here. Let me show you some of the projects that we're doing. Corfless over on the Fauzon Hanandito. I think that's Corfless. That's Corfless over there. So a lot of the projects I make, I use in my classes. So Tofu Land, I'm teaching a class this term on using the TIC 80. The TIC 80, and so the students are making this game. The students are making this game here. So on stream, I was saying, like, I need to learn how to do this. I would be up programming, working on this stuff anyway. Why not stream it and enjoy my time with everyone here? So this is one of the games we made here on stream. Now I got to change the gamepad here. So we made this game on stream, and this is an educational project with it. This is an educational project. So one thing I will say as a streamer, I often think, okay, what is the value that I'm adding to my stream? I want to share this stuff with you guys. I want you guys to learn stuff. I want to inspire you guys to do things, but I'm using this to benefit my students. So the chess puzzler is the one we just finished. Crazy Marble, I teach a whole class. Where students mod this game. This is one of the first things we did. This one here there's a whole class I built around this project here where students learn how to use. This is a non-programming class. I'm inspired by Tofu now. Gotcha. So this was a project we made. Students, I teach a class called 3D Level Design in Unity. It's a no programming class, but they take this game, and they learn how to make 3D levels. They use how to use Pro Builder. They learn how to use Cinemachine. They learn all this good stuff. Black Wardy, welcome to the stream. What did Black Wardy say? You join a stream and actually get a complete introduction. That's the sign I'm saying. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Happy to have you here on this beautiful day. We do a lot of backseat coding here. Or what I should say is backseat coding is absolutely encouraged here. Absolutely encouraged here. So it's glad to have you. I do enjoy how you make things in different engines like Godot, Raylib, Unity. Hyper says, didn't Unity just switch to paid subscriptions? No, Unity is not paid subscriptions. Unity is essentially, if you're not making money on your game, you don't pay anything. if you make more than $200,000, then their license kicks in and you have to do stuff. It's actually really, their new licensing model is actually, I don't know, I don't want to go into too many details onto it, but Unity is free if you're not making any money. Completely free if you're not making any money. And I'm not making any money, my students aren't making any money. And I think it's a good tool for learning how to do game dev. I think it's a good tool for learning how to do game dev. Godot is a great tool as well. The main reason I use Unity is because it's C# and I do a lot of stuff in C#. But yeah, we go through, this isn't just a Unity stream. My stream started out as a Unity stream. Not necessarily, it actually started out as an Advent of Code stream, but my students had asked me, hey, can you teach a Unity class? I said, maybe. Let me see if I can learn Unity. Because at the time, I really didn't like Unity. So I don't teach Roblox at my school. There is a class where students do, I don't do it. There is a class where students do mod Roblox. I do teach Lua. Sylar, exactly. Though I think I said the main reason I haven't used Unreal, let's see, do I still have Unreal installed on my computer? Is just how big the install is. I work at my school is 100% online, remote, international. So a lot of my students don't have the best internet, which makes it really difficult. Even Unity is difficult. Unity's install, we usually spend several days just getting Unity installed on their computers, trying to get it downloaded and set up, and a lot of them don't have space for Unity, and we have to go and clear stuff out. Unreal, let me see if I still have it installed. I might have uninstalled it. The Unreal folder. I bet that's why my computer has no space. No, I think I removed it. The Unreal Engine, last time I installed it, took up 120 gigabytes, I think. Let's look it up. And I'm Googling here, so this could be misinformation. Unreal Engine, how much space? According to this very quick blurb, 5.02, the Unreal Engine demands 115 gigabytes of storage. Yeah, so I have students who are struggling to get Unity installed because they don't have enough space, because they have all these games. Games take up this much. Look, a game can easily take up this much space, but a parent gets their kid a computer. A lot of times they get them a MacBook Air. It often is one of the ones that they get. I think we have said that you need to, we do have some requirements, but a lot of students come in with the MacBook Air. Parents think, oh, I'm going to spend $1,300 on a computer. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Moon is after the download is 6 gigs and the full install ends up being somewhere between 15 and 20 at the end of the day. But the download isn't. I think the download is 6 gigs. So they get this and they go, okay, well, this is great. $1,200 I have this MacBook Air, all this stuff. It's like, has 8 gigs of RAM. And how much the configurable storage, it ends up not being that much, in with like 512. It's crazy. It's crazy. They have these computers, and just so you know, not all of the classes at the school are programming classes, so this is fine for most cases. This is the craziest. Just show me the specs. Show me the specs, please. Show me the specs. All right, chip. How much RAM does it come? Look, this is the thing that drives me the most nuts, is the default one comes with 8 gigs. This is not enough memory for a brand new computer these days. This is not enough memory for the brand new computers these days. I try and tell them 8 gigs is the minimum to take my class. Gilgamesh, welcome back to me. How do I start freelancing? Just do it. Just do it. My toothbrush has more memory. I don't want to spend, look at the shine instead. I know. Look, this is the problem. They get this much memory. Oh, sorry, not much memory. This much storage is the default storage when you buy it. This is the default storage when you buy it. Not enough. 16 should be the default. 1 terabyte should be the default for the amount of space these days. these days. It's crazy. The reason they do this is because when you go to buy it, the parents go, oh, $1,300, that should be enough. It's like 2 terabytes on PC. Yeah, I know. I don't want to finance you. I want to select the options. This is what parents do. They come and they see, oh, this number, this must be fine. This must be fine. And they don't do this. They're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Look, it's going to be $2,000 for this computer now to have it here. Vibing guy, welcome back to the stream. Gonzo, nice to see you. Moshiko, I'm glad to have you here. It's true though, Macs are very pretty. I don't necessarily think they've messed up by going with Mac, but the parents don't know what specifications to get. And this is a thing. I have students that are stuck on 256 gigabytes of space. And so there's no way I'm going to get them to be able to install Unreal Engine, sadly. Yeah, it can be a little bit painful to see that. Look, I'm not an anti-Macer. I prefer Linux, if I'm being completely honest. Linux is for me. I do have, look right here, I have my MacBook sitting next to me. Showing me stuff here. So it's like my diagnostic information for my MacBook. I worked at a school that was a Mac only school, so I had to kind of learn Mac stuff at that time. I really prefer Linux. Streaming from Linux I have found to be painful, and so I'm using Windows for my streaming and recording and working with my students. Because I work at a school that has students using all different, it's bring your own device, remote, Windows, Mac, Linux. Most of my students, I'd say 90% are on Windows or Mac, so it's like 45-45 split, and then I do have like 10% on Linux machines, and so I need to know how to make everything work on all of those machines, or at least troubleshoot with them. Kovalaki, I have very few. My main complaint with Mac is the price and very painful to install. I find Mac painful to develop on because, not true. Brew is awesome. I find it very difficult to get students to use Mac as development remotely because it's all locked down. It's hard to get them to use Brew. How old are those students? 10 to 14, ages 10 to 14. There's some exceptions. We technically go 7 to 17, but for the most part, our main range is 10 to 14. Two-Ton says, the good thing about Linux users, it's okay to ignore them because we know the life we choose. Yeah, my Linux students tend to be really, really self-sufficient for the most part. That said, I teach a class called Command Line Kung Fu, to introduce students. In that class, everyone uses Linux. We use Linux in that class. It may be installed in a VM on your computer, but we all use Linux on that one. MJC, you could always look at Stride 3D. It's an option compared to Unity. It basically does most of the same stuff, but the source is C#. It seems pretty good from what I've seen, but not as widely used as something like Godot or Unity. So that's a great suggestion, MJT. I think Stride looks super cool. Some of my requirements, I have a few requirements. The biggest one that most things miss out on. So when I'm teaching here, one of my requirements, requirement number 1, must support C#. A lot of things do this. My main programming language is C#. Must support C#. 2, the second thing my biggest goal is must almost always need web builds. That's the second one, web builds. This is where a lot of things fail. Need web builds. I work at a fully remote school, 100% remote school. I want them to be able to build their projects and put them out on the web to share with their class, to share with the community. That's the one that a lot of them miss here. It's not 100% necessary, but I almost always need web builds for my students. So if I'm using it, I need a way to build for the web. I want my students to be able to build for the web. Stride doesn't do part 2. Stride does not do part 2. Godot C# does not do part 2. So that's the sad state of things there. That said, I'm not saying Stride is a bad option. This is anti Godot. No, I love Godot. JD, welcome to the stream, folks. If you guys don't know JD,
Whoa.
JD likes to do
You want to
impersonations.
feel like you're talking with Captain. Let me
JD,
see
how's it
if I can do
going?
my Captain impression.
Folks,
I am not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way
give him
like
some
the
love.
Captain.
You see that heart button? You go check out JD Does Dev. JD Does Godot. You want to see some Godot? Go check out JD Does Dev. Dev Donut. Welcome back. Just starting work. Gotcha. And feel free to ignore this question because I know it can be painful. Has it gotten any better? Dev Donut, I love your content. Dev Donut, what have you been working on? Sorry, folks, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here. Kovalak says, to be fair, I got Linux on my lab machine, Windows on my main machine, and Mac Air for when I need to go outside. So the fun fact about my Mac, I probably would never buy a Mac. So the school I used to work at was a Mac only school. They gave us Macs. It was school property. The Mac computer I had at school, I felt like was not sufficient for what I needed to do. And so I was like, okay, I need to get a better Mac. I need a Mac. It was a MacBook Air. It didn't meet my needs. I didn't have root control. I couldn't do what I wanted to do on it. So I ordered myself a new Mac. I said, okay, I'm gonna get myself a MacBook Pro. I want the 16 gigabyte version. of the MacBook Pro. They sent it to me, so I ordered it on Amazon. I got my MacBook Pro, and they had sent me the wrong version. They had sent me a MacBook Pro. It only had 8 gigabytes of RAM. The hard drive was small. So they sent me like the out-of-the-box cheapest MacBook Pro, even though I had spent like the $2,000 for it. And so I messaged Amazon. I was like, hey, you guys sent me the wrong thing. I need to return this and get the new one. And Amazon customer support, this was during COVID. Amazon customer support said, we are not, this is crazy to me, we are not allowed to accept returns currently, but we'll give you a credit. So that's how I got my free MacBook Pro. Bono, welcome to the stream. So that worked out really well. I was like, I need a refund, but they were like, we can't take it back because of the pandemic. So it worked out. Mono, I hope you've been doing well, my friend. Welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you here. I only have one Mac. I've upgraded it since then, though. So I spent a little bit to get the 16 gigabytes of RAM and the 1 terabyte hard drive. Dev Donut, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for popping in. Keep coding. Keep growing. Keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. JD says, I got my free MacBook Pro because the job that laid me off never sent me a return shipping label. Look, that sounds like a them problem. Not a you problem. That sounds like a you. It sounds like, well, what's the opposite of a problem? Sounds like a you awesome. Kagigi? KG High. Let's go with KG High. KG Hi. Thank you for following me today. We got KG Hi. Following the captain today. Thank you for the follow, KG Hi. Welcome aboard. Mine is the M1 Pro with 32 gig RAM with 1 terabyte. I like to exaggerate when I can. I think that'd be an okay thing to do. Look, my computer, folks, I have 128 gigabytes of RAM on this one. JD says, yeah, I did a full factory reset, cleared the stuff, and they could use to lock it down. Nice. Glad to hear you got that. All right, we were in the process. We're trying to get our Capman. Where'd it go? So JD said, is this anti-Godot? No, I want so much for Godot. I want so much for Godot to be the tool I can use just because of how lightweight it is. Every time I use Godot, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so refreshing because it's so tiny. You want to update your main computer? I keep feeling like I need to get a new computer. This computer is I think this computer is like 4 or 5 years old at this point. But that RAM is awesome. It's awesome. I can do a lot of things with it. I can be so wasteful. It's great. Yeah, the GPU is not the best, but it's not bad. I don't think it's the best. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. It's true, Cat. I love tiny things. I love it. I love the tiny things, JD. I like lightweight, tiny tools that I can use. Does Visual Studio work with AMD? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would assume so. I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's see if we can draw this sprite. We're gonna see if we can draw an animation here. See if we can draw an animation. Int uint u long ticks frames ticks. I'm gonna go with ticks equals 0 ticks plus plus. So we're gonna increase this every frame. I don't know if this needs to be a long. Maybe we should go with unsigned int. We'll go with uint here. How many seconds? Let's see. What is that? 2 to the 32 minus 1. 2 to the 30. Oh, it's not even to minus 1. 2 to the 32. Okay. How many divided by 60? Divided by 60 times 60. All right, this is how long the game would run for something terrible to happen. Is that an okay thing? Is that an okay thing? For our purpose, I think it's okay. This is how many seconds? How many minutes is that? How many hours is that? All right, so it'd have to be running for 331 hours for something to go wrong. We'll go with ticks as this for animation, just for today. Just for today. I want to load. Let's create a sprite sheet. Sprite sheet. Sheet equals new sprite sheet.load. And we're going to load in our assets, sprites, capman.ping, capman.ping, 1 row, 3 columns. 1 row and 3 column. Hyper says, Captain makes this look easy. Look, Hyper, I've been doing it for 27 years, over 20 years. So it's all about that practice. I had my students question, how many hours of, so they say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in something. 10,000 hours. It's a lot of hours. I had my students do an estimate of how many hours of programming experience I have, and I think we came up with like something between 30 and 40,000 hours worth of time spent programming. It's a lot of time. Kovalaki, for some reason when you said loading sheets, my mind went to Excel sheets. We could load Excel sheets too, but I'm not sure if that'd be helpful for us. I'm not sure if that'd be helpful. Oh, I just spilled a little bit of water. It's about time to go on our first break here. Let me wipe that up. I think I've done 10,000 hour programming. Hello World, Hyper says. I can do it in 9 different languages. Look, you know, I don't know. Some skills I don't know that they take 10,000 hours. But if you're an expert in Hello Worlds, that's awesome. I wish I was an expert in Hello Worlds. Maybe someday. So now we're going to do sheet.draw sprite. Our sprite here takes in a row, a column. So row 0, column 0. And then where we want to put it on the screen, I'll do 50-50 for now. And hopefully we get a capped man on the screen at position 50-50. We did not. We did not. That is disappointing. What if I take this? I really thought we were gonna get. I really thought we were gonna get something. Oh, we didn't finish writing our sprite sheet code, didn't we? Yeah, we didn't. Uh-oh, I opened up FL Studios. Go away, you. We have to actually write this code here. All right, so our rectangle is a width and a height. We take it. We give it a rectangle. We're gonna specify X and Y width and height. X and Y width and height. Okay, so X and Y is going to be, X is our column times sprite width row times sprite height. And then the size is sprite width, sprite height. And then we're gonna put it on a new vector 2. Why is this doing it that way? Can I do XY? So let me do that new. I'll just do new. There we go. Try that now. Come on, we got ourselves, look, we got a weirdo with a beardo. There he is. Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy. Look how cute he is. Look at that cutie. Okay. I represent that remark. Look, JD does remarks. JD does representation, folks. I represent that remark. All right, so we want this. We're gonna choose a sprite here. We're gonna draw this sprite. The row never changes, but the column does. The column here is ticks mod 3. Okay, not quite. Wait, why doesn't that work? Can I convert uint to int? Let's just go with a regular int, folks. Let's try not to get things crazy. Welcome to lurk mode. Enjoy your walk, Raptine. Enjoy your walk. So this is going to be a super fast here. So I actually want to divide this by the speed of our animation. Let's go with 20. Okay. I killed my terminal. My terminal doesn't love me anymore. .NET run project Catman Raylib. Oh, we need to have it go back and forth. I can't zoom in. It will stop animating if I zoom in. Can I just use, does this keep this? There we go. Oh, I can't scroll to zoom when I'm doing that. Why can't I? That's disappointing. Look at that guy though. It's a little slow. It's a little slow. The waka. We got it in there. Java, is that a fez? It is. Marshall suggested a fez, and we went ahead and we added a fez in, and it looks great. Looks great. So this is our animation speed here. Let's let's put that up. Yeah, it needs to go back and forth though. It needs to go back and forth. Here is so we made the cap man. There he is. So we need to make it go back and forth. It has to oscillate. So this makes me think I want to create a animation, because I want it to, the frame order needs to be 0, 1, 2, 1, and then loop. Go back to 0. 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1. But this is the animation we're going for here. Do the enemies get different style hats too? We were thinking we need to come up with the type of enemy that we want here. Part of me thinks that these guys, I want to steal the hats. Part of me was thinking that we could make the fruit, and let me know what you guys think. The fruit's going to be hats. When you pick up the fruit, it adds a hat to this. Adds hats to the Catman's heads. Want to make the ghost hats instead? Ooh, the hat going, the Catman, their hats, they're coming around. When you eat the ghost, maybe you collect the hat. Otherwise, they come in to steal your hat. I was thinking they'd be bald guys. Prophets, let me ask you. I know this might, I'm trying to be non-offensive to bald people. So let me know, is this offensive to bald people? If I make the ghosts in my Catman game bald people who are mad that you have a hat and they're coming to steal it, is that offensive to bald people? Make hats. All right. JD says we got Flappy, Cappy, Slappy, Toppy, Floppy, Moppy, and Kenneth. I love it. Toppy, Floppy, Moppy, and Kenneth. I gotta screenshot that so I don't want to forget. All right, we're gonna take that, copy to clipboard. Let's add that to the Discord so we don't forget it. Let's go to our recommended. Folks, we also have a lot. Don't forget, folks, if you're not on the Discord, if you're on the Discord, we could have some fun over there. We have a lot of fun. Make them with extra hats, yeah. let's go down to where's recommended. Suggest recommendations. I want to paste this in here. All right, I like that. We're gonna save that. I'm Kenneth Javasaurus X. Pardon me, sir. Sir, I'm actually Kenneth. I am Kenneth. How dare? All right, folks, so we got a little bit of an animation going here. We've been going for an hour and 50 minutes. An hour and 50 minutes. We're going to take a break. Javasaurus X, is your name actually Kenneth? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that was offensive. Look, I got to stop offending people. All right, folks, Captain Coder's going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get some stretches in, so get ready for your stretches. We got to take care of ourselves. Look, the captain loves you, which means you should love you. If you love you, you got to take care of yourself. And we'll be back. Get your mom, get your dad, get your coworkers, get your boss. Hey, boss. Hey, boss. We're going to get some stretches in. Folks, don't go anywhere. The captain will be back. All right, everybody, Captain Coder's back. We deallocated a hat, folks. We deallocated a hat. Remember, for 500 points, exclamation point hats. We'll add a hat to the stack. Folks, Captain Coder loves you, which means you should love you. If you love you gotta love that body.
You in the back. Pay attention.
Napalm, welcome back to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And Napalm Codes, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's put a hat back on. Get a hat back on there. Thank you for the hat redeem. We're gonna get some stretches in, folks. Make sure you pull your hat down nice and tight when you get those stretches in so it doesn't come flying off that head. Don't want it to come flying off. So everyone, I'm gonna encourage you to stand on up with the captain. We're gonna get some stretches in. Please stand on up with me. Please stand on up. We're gonna start with a nice reach up into the sky. Yanji! Welcome back to the stream. Reach on up. Oh, yeah. Get up on those tippy tops. This is why your hat needs to be on nice and tight. So as we exhale, take a deep breath. Exhale. As you do, we're going to hinge at the hips. Hinge at the hips. And we're just going to hang here, working on getting that lower back. Those glutes and lower back here. Focus on the hinge. Oh, yeah. Just hang here for 15 20 seconds, really get that lower back stretching. Oh, it feels so good. Feels so good. Once you feel like you've had enough, we're gonna breathe in for 5 seconds here. In. Bringing it up slowly. Bring that neck up. Bring those shoulders up, back, and down. We're gonna roll those shoulders back. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, full arms. Oh, feels so good. I agree. 3, 4, roll them forward. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, full arms. 2, 3, 4. Oh, getting that blood flowing, getting that body moving, taking care of ourselves. Shake it out. Shake it out. I'm gonna do a calf stretch next. A quad stretch next. We're gonna get that foot up if you can. Take that foot, grab it, pull it on up. If you need to grab something, hang on to the side. I have a chair right here. Sometimes I use that for balance. And we're just gonna hold this here, getting that nice quadricep stretch in. Oh yeah, just for 10 seconds. Then we'll switch it out here. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel good to take care of yourself? You're a lovely person. You deserve some love. That's right. That's you out there. I'm talking to you, Dramulks. Go and let that leg down. Bring that other leg up. Grab that foot if you can. If you can't quite get here, that's okay.
You in the back. Pay attention.
Dram, that's right. That's right. Pay attention. I was just testing you. Dram, you haven't typed the secret word yet today. Do we have a secret word today? No, I didn't. I thought I put a secret word here. I didn't put a secret word here. I forgot to hit update. That's interesting. I didn't click update. I did update my tags, but I didn't click save apparently. Rosin's Barantinas. Go and let that leg down. Oh yeah. Roll it out. You didn't notice. I missed it. Rosin asks, is it good to start learning C# as first program? I absolutely think C# is a fantastic programming to start learning in. When I teach computer science and programming, which I do all the time, the language I start my students in is C#, and I like it so much. I wrote a workbook on learning how to program in C#. I wrote this interactive choose your own adventure workbook for children. It's designed for children, but adults can use it too. We're all kids at heart, really. Feel free to check this out. If you want a physical book, the C# Player's Guide is a fantastic resource. It costs $35 these days. And then if that's cost prohibitive, there's another book called the C# course that's called the Yellow Book. The Yellow Book is another fantastic free resource. These are my resources I suggest for learning C#. I think they're all fantastic resources. My book will get you to the basics. It doesn't go into advanced topics. It does not go into advanced topics. C# Player's Guide does. Maybe someday my book will. I'm hoping to add some more chapters to it this year. Take a look at these though, but yeah, I absolutely think it's a great place to start. Moshiko says, my first language ever was C#, actually. Ooh, nice. My first language ever was BASIC on an Apple II, and then Quick Basic for DOS, Turbo Pascal. I did a little bit of C programming after that. Dr. Jin, welcome to the stream. How you doing, friend? Welcome. Quick Basic, yeah, I did Quick Basic 4. What version of Quick Basic are we on? Quick Basic, latest version. What version of Quick Basic is the latest version? The last version of Quick Basic was version 4.5. Oh, that doesn't sound right. I swear I've seen newer versions. 7 is the latest one. I remember using Quick Basic 4 on DOS. There was a release, last release version 7.1. Okay. Remember Gorillas? I remember Gorillas. Who doesn't remember Gorillas? Free Code Camp published a guide that lets you get certified in Chef. This was a month ago. Gotcha. Chef is clearly the best language. Chef? Is Chef a programming language? Is Chef a programming language? Oh, I have seen this. I was thinking of Chef. It's like an Ansible style tool. Chef. Hello world. This is how you write a program in Chef. You list the ingredients. Put. You prefer Arnold C? Arnold C is another good one. Folks, thank you guys so much for joining me in the stretches. Points at all. 120 points. 125 points to all you beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me in those. Dr. Jin, what have you been up to? What have you been working on? I hope you've been having a great time. Siler, I'm glad you got in a good stretch. It's good. Moshiko says, my path was C#, JavaScript, TypeScript, Java, Python, but now I'm using JavaScript for now. When I'm done with my current project, I want to get back to focus on .NET for backend. I've been having a blast with .NET. I've loved C#. I kind of fell in love with it. Dr. Jin, what have you been doing on your stream lately? What have you been doing? Tell us. Okay, we were in the process here. Before we took a break. We were getting some animations going on here. All right, so we got some animations. I want this animation to oscillate back and forth. So I want to write a class here. So I have sprite sheet. I want to write, I don't want to get overly complex here. Program for Raspberry Pi, is that embedded? Usually not. You could do some embedded stuff for Raspberry Pi, but typically Raspberry Pi, you write just Python code or something that runs on it. Raspberry Pi tends to have an operating system installed as well. An embedded system is usually no operating system or a very small one. I could do sine or cosine. What I mean is my sprite here, my sprite has 3 frames. So I have 3 different frames, but they loop back and forth. So it ping pongs. I want to ping pong here. That's just ridiculous. Calm down, JD. Too many puns. Can we get timeout for JD? I'm just kidding. I started with VB, moved to C# because PowerShell wasn't good enough to simplify my work. JD got a timeout himself. So we don't care about memory. Why not just add the second sprite at the end? I could do that. And then I'd have to create a new sprite sheet. I want to write the code. I want to write a thing that goes back and forth. I want to write a class here for an animate. So I have a sprite sheet here. I want to write a class called animated sprite. This is really what I want. I want an animated sprite. Public class animated sprite. And maybe I want a thing called a renderable, something like that. But I want an animated sprite. Expander asks, have you seen You Can Tell ChatGPT to act like a Linux terminal and you can use Vim in it? I have not done that. That sounds fancy. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything too fancy here, though. This one is basically what we're going to do is we're going to say animated sprite, and we're going to give it a list of frames to execute. So private, this will be useful for my ghosts, I believe. I believe it's going to be really useful for my ghosts. Int current frame private int array frames. This is really all I want to do. I want frames, current frames. We're gonna build this thing up. We need to keep track of this sprite sheet here. And then the frames, I guess frame needs to have, it's gonna be a tuple like this for row, column here. And then I want to be able to initialize this thing. Public animated. I want to have a public void draw. It's going to take in an int x and an int y. It needs to know which tick we're on, so how much time has passed. This could be a global as well, how long the game has been running. So this is the number of ticks that the game has been running for. Then this can use this to draw the frame. So we do sheet dot draw sprite, the row and column here. So it's going to say int row int column is equal to frames at current frame. Oh, I guess I don't need current frame here. I don't need a current frame. It's going to be based off of our ticks. So this should be based off of our ticks. We need a speed, private public int speed. This number is weird because it's not actually, the higher number doesn't mean faster, higher means slower. So it's like our animation delay here. So ticks divided by speed, mod frames dot length. Let me close this so you guys can see it here. We're gonna find the row and column of the sprite we want to do this way. Eliran says, if you do it based on ticks, all animations will always be synchronized between same sprites. Not necessarily. If you set a different speed, it won't be. But you could potentially set like a start time. I'm going to do this without getting, I'm trying to get not too complex. Why were you going to make private at first, speed private at first? Oh, its internal speed is going to be a read-only thing that gets set once. Oh, maybe we need to make it settable as well. There's some danger. I was going to make it private. Making things private is important. Not necessarily important. Making things encapsulated in private tends to be a good practice. Eileen Rude, welcome back. And Aries, nice to see you, Captain. I got my modern programming class today. I love this class, my object-oriented programming class too. What do you do in modern programming? What is the topic in modern programming? Eileen Rude, we could do it on, you're correct. I'm trying not to get too complicated. The suggestion from, I have no idea what modern programming means. Learning Rust, yeah, I'm curious what modern programming is. Like, what's the topics? What are you covering it? Should the line 4 define as 2D array? Line 4, I'm giving it the row and column from, no, it's a 1D array. This is why I was thinking in our sprite sheet, having an ID was the correct thing to do here. I'm slightly regretting this, but this is an array that is saying inside of our sprite sheet, which frames, what is the order of the frames that they should appear? Moshiko, I think that is correct. I think I'm correct there. I'm not 100% sure. So this becomes row, column, XY, like this. If we wanted to, but then I have to update current frame somehow. I do have to update current frame somehow. And you're correct, passing ticks in here. I could do current frame. So the question is where, I would ask you, Elianrud, where do I put that complexity? In your opinion, where should I put it? This is a serious question. I'm not trying to be facetious or anything. I actually want to know, where would you do it? Because my initial instinct would say, oh, let's do a current frame, and then somewhere I have to update that current frame. Where do I do that? Ari says, the first week we learned how to make program Hello World in C++, and we use a website called Zybooks, also learn C++. Interesting. I'd be curious what a syllabus for that class looks like. When we construct this thing, public animated sprites, I'm gonna have it take in a sprite sheet. And then, so there's a little bit of stuff going on here where we might want to have different sprites from different sprite sheets. Again, I don't want to get too complicated. And then I want it to take in an IEnumerable of pairs. Kind of dislike this. Frames. And we'll just initialize this. Sprite sheet becomes sprite sheet, and frames becomes frames. My home list for minimal complexity on draw would update itself. It should update itself. Speed could be removed if you no longer need animation. Just push more elements into frames array. That feels really complex. That particular complexity feels more complex to me if I want to be able to adjust the speed. It feels more complex to me to say, okay, well, we're going to add some like duplicate frames in here. To me, this feels simpler. The ticks here feels maybe wrong, and that we should have, I hate the idea of a global ticks. We might have something that is like private animated start, animated at, and we calculate it from that. This feels relatively simple to me. Yeah, so incrementing in draw doesn't make sense because a frame doesn't necessarily pass. So on draw would increment current frame with limit to size on frames. I'm not necessarily going to be drawing this. I might do a draw. It's technically possible to do a draw multiple times in a frame. So let's say I want to draw this sprite in 2 places on the screen. Now it's update. I need to make 2 copies of the sprite. So right now, so there is some complexity here. Let's explore this. I like this idea. Animated sprite Capman. It's new. Animated sprite. Let's explore it. I could be completely wrong. Let's come in here and we're gonna say that our frames are 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1. I could be completely wrong. All right, so capman.draw, and then we specify an X and Y. So let's go 50, 50. And then I have to pass in ticks, which this is a complexity I don't exactly like. We might, so like I agree that this is weird. If I put ticks inside, right now I can do this at, 150 as well. Let's draw it multiple times. And these will animate independently of each other. So this is an interesting, so programming, there is more than one way to do this. Absolutely. .NET run. My assumption was that the animated sprite was something like per on-screen thing which would track it for you. We crashed. Not per object. I must have done something wrong here. Row, column, row, column. Divide by 0. Attempted to divide by 0. Oh, I have to give it a speed. Let's add this to init. 7 was what I liked by default here. All right, so I can animate it. I can put it in multiple places now. So it's just one. It's like, yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing with it? How are we going to do it? Should this really be an animated sprite, or should it be something called an animation? And I am trying not to get more complex. Animated sprite, which is not per object, but per animation and workable on multiple objects. So it's fair. It's fair. We're allowed to have different opinions. If I put the yeah, I don't think I really don't like. You're suggesting, okay, let's try it your way. Let's try it your way. Int current frame. Okay. You're suggesting each time we call draw, current frame, we go to the next frame every time we call draw. So my question would be, how do I limit the speed? Oh, you were saying now I should add in, I need to duplicate this for the speed. If we have different opinions, we can't be friends anymore. It's true. Welcome to America. No, JD. Different opinions are important. You're suggesting now in my animation here, I have to specify, I should specify, let me double check. So I do current frame plus plus. But to adjust the speed of the animation now, I should specify this multiple times. So I would need to do this. So you're suggesting this here. So now I'd duplicate this 7 times to change the speed. This, to me, personally, feels like a lot of... Was there a get time on Raylib? Because I didn't know about that. One thing that is a side effect here is I would need to make sure that I create a second animated sprite here if it's updating its own. Yeah, I think I don't know that there's anything particularly wrong with that one, and maybe I'm just misunderstanding it. Now it's gonna be so fast you can't see it. I'm gonna go back here to what I had before. Todd Makes Game, welcome back to the stream. And Science, how we doing, friend? Welcome back to the stream. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Let's take a look at the get time here. So you are correct. You are correct that I'm basing off the tick, so the animation could get a little bit janky. The animation could get janky. Maybe it should be off time, right? So I don't necessarily like this as far as the animation goes. At the end of the day, internally, this is sort of what's happening. Todd says, howdy, long time since I caught the stream. I'm glad you're here. I'm doing absolutely wonderful. I really like Raylib for C#. I'm pretty sure I'm going to add it to my core curriculum with my students. I've been looking for a library to do windowing stuff that requires no external dependencies and just works out of the box. Raylib does. Raylib just works out of the box on Mac, Linux, and Windows. Other tools I've tried to use that are just C#, not with, Godot or Unity or something like that, haven't worked out of the box or have other challenges. For example, Blazor. Blazor's feels like massive. It gives you all this extra stuff around the outside, and I have to say, ignore all the magic. Ignore all the magic. With Raylib, it's just boom. You install, there's no extra stuff there. The DLL is behind. I love Blazor. By the way, I've been having a lot of fun with Blazor. Go on and let's look at get time. Let's look at get time. That might be the way to do them. It looks like Win2D, but working. Yeah. So the other one that I really liked was SFLM, this Simple Fast ML, SFML, Simple Fast Media Library. It was painful to get working on Mac. I had to install Brew and then install the dependencies. SDL is similar. You have to install some library dependencies on your computer. Impossible to do for some of my students because we have to install Brew. We have to install Brew. This required nothing except .NET to be installed. So it's really nice. I like that. Get time. Elapsed time in seconds since Windows. Okay, let's do this. Get frame time. Time in seconds for last frame drawn. We could do this. Okay. Eileen, I have an idea that combines both of what we've done. It combines both of our stuff. So you're saying it should control its own frame. It should control its own frame. And I kind of like that. Get time and frame for the last frame. Let's use get time. Let's use get time to animate this thing. And we can say, okay, when was the last time this thing was drawn? IDNT says, I had previously used SDL2 CS, but since I tried Raylib CS, I'm delighted. I had pain points with SDL C# library. Raylib, I wish I'd used it sooner. I got to give a shout out to Andreas. Let's make sure we get it right. Andreas Sastev. Let's make sure we get this right. Andreas Sastev here. I got to give a shout out here to Andreas Sastev because they are working with Raylib in C#, and I was going like, that looks really cool. That looks really simple. Let's give it a shot. And so I wouldn't have done it if it were not for Andreas Sastev. I had seen other people talking about it, but mostly in the realm of C. And so give Andreas Sastev a follow, folks, working on a game engine using Raylib in C#, Raylib C#. Okay. Let's see if we can combine the animation here, where we have the speed of the animation. Speed, let's say frames per second. Frames per second. How fast is this animation? Let's calculate that. And let's say I want the animation in this. Let's look at the animation over here. I kind of want it that speed. I have no idea what the frames per second is here. Can we check what the frames per second are? If we click on this. So I know you can change the speed of the animation, but it doesn't tell us how many frames per second are animated. I want this speed. I want this speed. I want this speed. All right, I guess we'll put frames per second. We'll go with 10. Frames per second, 10. Oh, is that too many? Frames per second, 3. We're gonna do 3 frames per second. We want the whole animation to be 1 second. There are 4 frames. 4 frames per second. Okay, so we have a float telling us how many frames per second. Now we can, I think it says 300 milliseconds at the bottom. Okay. Kuwani, thank you for that. It does say 300 milliseconds. There it is. There it is. It does say 300 milliseconds. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It does say 300 milliseconds. Awesome. Frames per second, 300 milliseconds. We're gonna go with 4. That feels about right. Feels about right. What is 300? What was 1,000 divided by 300? 3.3 frames per second. We'll go with 4. 4 feels about right. We could do 3.3. 3.3. Okay. 3.33 frames per second. And then we can use the get time. All right, so now we have to add in some complexity here. We say private float animation start, I suppose. Or we could say like last drawn, something like that. I need to know when does this animation start. I could also just assume it needs to be running from the beginning. Let's do a public float. So maybe you could have an offset or something. Let's assume for now, we'll add it in a second, maybe if we need to, frame start. let's assume that it's been running since the beginning. That's not going to be true for Pac-Man though, because the Pac-Man stops when it hits a wall, it keeps his mouth open. So we'll be doing that, I believe. Let's see if we can, we're going to try and get close to what that is. So if we play free Pac-Man, so we are going to need to keep track of that. Come on, load Pac-Man. When Pac-Man hits a wall, he doesn't keep chomping. His mouth stays open to whatever it was on at that moment. It stays open. So we are going to need, and we pick up where we left off, I'm pretty sure. So we will need to know animation start at. So something along those lines. But we will add that in momentarily. We want to calculate current frame here. Current frame 0. Current frame 0. No, current frame. It's going to be something. And we should be able to calculate that from raylib.get. Raylib.get. Oh, we've not done any raylib in here yet. Using raylib.cs here. Raylib.get time. This is going to return. It's going to be a double. All right, so I guess we can put this in doubles. Get the elapsed time in seconds since the window was initialized. Since the window was initialized. And we need to figure out which frame we are on based on that. I believe if we just divide by our frames per second, and then we integerify this, and then we mod it by our frames dot length, we will get our current frame. Okay, so we say, what time is it? We probably want to potentially have some sort of offset in here. So start time, we'll subtract out the start time from it. Integerify, C# Fritz, yeah, this right here, the parentheses, oh, I'm too zoomed in, hang on. These parentheses, for anyone who doesn't know, the parentheses here, oh my goodness, stop zooming everywhere. Why are you doing? Look, sometimes I try and do things. You know, when you put something between this, integer, phi, integer, if you put an int, this is the integerify operator. C# Fritz, how you doing, friend? Operator. This is the integerify operator. I think I need to rethink complexity. Intify, yeah. C# Fritz, I hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. Thank you for popping in.
Whoa.
TBD Gamer, TBD Gamer. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for bringing your people here. TBD Gamer, if you got a raid and run, I know sometimes you got to. Feel free to go for it. If you have any links you'd like to drop, feel free to share them. What did you do on your stream? How is your stream going? What are you doing? Hey, they're doing well. I had a long weekend of travel. Yeah, I saw some of your tweets over on the platform. Are they still called tweets? Over on the platform formerly known as Twitter, you were saying, I saw you. C# Fritz. What were you doing? I saw you. You were like at a baseball game, a basketball game. Folks, give C# Fritz some love. Shy programmer, shy programmer. Thank you for following me now, shy programmer. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the crew. I hope you enjoy your stay today. We got the Shy Programmer hanging out with us. Shy Programmer, welcome to the stream. Let's see. TBD says, we were actually working on the water, drink water again today. Nice. Made some good progress and got some good discussion points. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. This is a community project over on TBD Gamers stream. Is it just stream related? But it is about learning how to use GitHub, I believe, a little bit. Learning how to do PRs. Learning how to drink water. There's no right or wrong or bad, good, but making a PR doesn't mean it will get merged. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. You review all the PRs on stream. Such a cool project. TBD Gamer, what inspired you to do this? What inspired you to do this? Really, really cool stuff. Fritz. Oh, can I have your life? Can I have your life? C# Fritz. Send it to me. Send it to me. Pitiful. Splatter is pitiful compared to Wawa. Look at this. Look at this. Fritz, thank you so much for popping in, my friend. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, can I have your life? I'm gonna be going, it's pitiful. It's pitiful. Shyverse, I'm still here in my opinion. I love Python though, or C#. Gotcha. Look, we all start out as beginners. And if you're lucky, if you're like the captain, you'll be a beginner your entire life. Just have people helping you out the whole time. That's the best way to learn. The best way to get good is to have people helping you out, asking them, how can I improve my code? Work with people who are better than you and don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're just a beginner. You will 10x your progress. We got the 10x over on the DevDad. 10x your progress, folks. 10x your progress as a learner by getting other people to look at your code, review it, give you feedback, and then iterate on it. All right, so I think I can drop ticks now. Here. Let's see if we get our Capman drawing. Do we get our Capman drawing? Let's see if everything breaks. Everything's broken. Nothing is working. Oh, he's just slow. Look at that slow. That Catman. That Catman. This is interesting. Do I have it backwards? I must have it backwards. Cold Float, thank you. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Happy to have you here. Dragon Dust, how we doing? I have my division backwards, I'm pretty sure. I have my division backwards. This should be our frames per second. This can't be right. This can't be right. Frames per second. Hang on, this is giving back. I gotta think through it. Congratulations on your daily points, Shy Programmer. 1 frame every 3 seconds apparently is what I have. Do I need to multiply this by 1,000? Love C hashtag. I'm a big fan of C hashtags. Thank you for the comment. So are you saying I have a sick cat or that our capped man has a sick cat? Yeah, we're doing 1 frame every 3 seconds. Let me think through what's going on here. So this is our total time. So after 3 seconds here, yeah, so this needs to get multiplied by 60? Brain, do some math for me. Brain. Is this multiplied by 60? Time of 1 frame, it shouldn't be multiplied, it needs to be divided by 60. I believe it needs to be divided by 60. Why don't I have points to receive when watching? Ooh, Yanji, I don't have no affiliate status. If you check out the Captain Coder doesn't have an affiliate status. Captain Coder is not an affiliate here on Twitch. If you look at Captain Coder, you may be confused. You may be asking yourself, Captain, where are my points? I don't have any points. What am I supposed to do with myself? I'm not an affiliate. But we manage our points. If you want to check how many points you have, unfortunately, you have to type exclamation points. And then if you, why not an affiliate? C# Fritz. I could ask this question. I don't want the ads on my channel. That's really why I'm not an affiliate. I don't need the money. So first off, I don't need the money. I did not build the bot myself. I don't need the money. And then I really don't like the ads. I don't like the ads. What I've said is, so I've said if I get to 200 average followers, sorry, 200 average viewers. So a lot of people want me to get affiliate apparently for the all the benefits of being an affiliate. I've said if I get up to 200 average viewers, I will apply for partner. We've been doing pretty good. I just, basically that's me saying I don't really want to be affiliated or partner. So it's a personal choice. We've hit this thing though. So just so everyone knows, it's 100% by choice. We have hit this thing here where we hit the average 75. I just don't feel like it's that big of a benefit to me. I don't know. I could talk about it for days. It makes me, being in a partner makes me feel like I'd have a partner and affiliate, I have some kind of obligation here. Talif, welcome to the stream, by the way. Happy to see you again. I don't know if Dragon Dust, I don't know if I told you welcome to the stream either, but I'm glad you're here. Talif. What a cool name. Yeah, so we want to frames per second divided by 60. Is that right? Kuwani saying time times frame per second mod frame count. Oh. Ooh, that's better because then I don't have to do division. Division's bad. Division's bad per second. Division's not bad. It's just division is one of the more expensive operations. Why would I divide by 1,000? Let's try this. There we go. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that pack. 1 second equals 1,000 milliseconds. That is true. If I'm doing frames, let me think here. Why am I struggling? Just don't divide by 0. Do you think so? You're saying I should divide this? All right, let's try. If this, so I think you might be right here. If I can get away without doing division, that's a good thing though. Division is one of the slower, it's not really that we should care that much about it. Need an A sprite was 10 frames per second. Let's try that. Oh, because 300 milliseconds, you're right. Can you do this time management thing once somewhere else and just pass a frame delta around instead of calculating it everywhere? Probably. Does Raylib support animation or provide a delta? I don't know if it does. It might actually provide animation. Oh. Maybe I should be using their animation. Looks like they have model animation. Oh, this is for 3D models. This is for 3D animation. Okay, so it looks like they support 3D animation. Or you can say milliseconds per frame equals 300 and then divide by 1,000. Anything else is just a confusing mess. I don't know enough to leave. I use VS Code for my students, essentially. So I learn my students' pain points. Why is it a confusing mess? I want to understand why. I divide by 0 all the time. Why is my terminal giving me trouble? There we go. Look at this happy little guy. It doesn't let me zoom in anymore. It's a little weird. I wish it did. Look at this happy little pack. Okay. All right. We made a thing that did a thing that nom 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 and waka waka waka. People want me to. I always like VS Code more than VS. Looks nicer as well. My biggest complaint with VS Code and .NET is for bigger projects. The problems the problem tab often doesn't report correct things. So this project's small enough that it's fine, but I think I could show you, specifically when I've done Blazor projects, it really struggles with that project. And some of the bigger projects that I've loaded, it struggles with. So that's the only thing I'll say is I think Visual Studio is a more robust tool for doing .NET development. My school, we stick to Visual Studio Code for all of our programming classes when possible. Or we also use Replit, so some classes we don't have the students download anything on their computers, and we'll use Replit, which has a VS Code fill to it. But the students, we want them to learn one tool to program. It also gets them using the command line. Take 80 seal link to IDE for you, Snavel. That's hilarious. Replit is also interesting indeed. They made some changes recently that I'm gonna stop. I think I'm gonna stop using Replit. Their most recent changes make it really not really hard to use. I think Visual Studio is better if your computer can handle it. So on Windows, you have Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio, you don't have Visual Studio on Mac or Linux. Visual Studio Code works on all of them. People have suggested Writer. I haven't given it a shot, but then I wouldn't be able to use Writer. Maybe I would, but Writer is not for doing web development and other things like that. There is not supposedly, I know that there is a license for that. Let's add our board back here. Writer does it all. Does Writer do any type of programming language? Web included? Gotcha. Okay, so let's put our Pacman down here. So okay, so we have a Catman. Let me commit. It used to be much better. So Expanded Cube, Replit used to be much better for education than it is. Now it is incredibly expensive to use for our students. So I'm probably gonna be winding down using Replit. There used to be features on it that was really good. Teach them to use Vim. If I had my choice, would be using Emacs. I thought you had to pay for Writer. There is an educational edition that you can. Taking down C#, taking down a note. Git add science. Sorry. I'm so glad you're here, Balit. How the heck have you been, folks? Do you guys know Science Stream? Incredible streamer, streamer. Teacher. Do you know what today is? Microscopy Monday over on Science Stream. Click that follow button. You're not going to want to miss it. Science. What are we microscopying today? I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Commit chore feet. We're gonna do a feature added animated sprite. There was someone wanted me to humor them with division, I think by 1,000 or something. I'm so sorry, I lost track of it in the chat. I wasn't trying to ignore you. Rex Riker, welcome back to the stream. By the way, happen to have it. Fossils, Amber, tardigrades, and more. That's exciting. Shy Person says, I don't have it set in, so I can't really pay something for myself. Yeah. I try and do as much open source stuff as I can. I don't always use open source stuff. As long as you are doing web front end, Visual Studio Code is perfect because your browser gives you all the more advanced tools than Visual Studio gives for C# and other languages. So I have found the debugger to be a little bit tricky in VS Code on occasion, and that's just me not knowing enough. I think that's me not knowing enough about Visual Studio Code. Yeah, so C# Fritz, my school I work at a school that's 100% remote online, and it's a bring your own device school. So some of my priorities are ease of installation, has to be cross-platform, and ideally it's free. The other one is I want to be able to support multiple programming languages. One of the things I actually really like about Visual Studio Code is because it doesn't have a lot of fancy features, I can force my students, force is a strong word, I can teach my students to use the terminal effectively. Now, well, there's BS for Mac. No, wait, there is. It's too soon. The moment you start working with C#, C++, you need to work on Visual Studio. Stuff like performance monitoring, etc. will be at some point. Yeah. so the school I work at, 10 to 14, it's mostly not just introductory stuff. We do some I'd say introductory, intermediate, and then some of my students get into advanced algorithms, but we don't do super deep, hardcore programming where you have to do a lot of, like, what is the word I'm looking for? Profiling. You don't have to do a lot of profiling, say like, what are my performance? We don't do a lot of benchmarking and profiling, although I would like to start maybe getting into that a little bit more. So there's some requirements I have. I do have Visual Studio. I'm not sure I can still use it. The Visual Studio is also really bulky. I think if your computer only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, Visual Studio really likes to use all of that. So I will say that too. You need, like, who has 8 gigabytes of RAM? You know, really 16 needs to be the standard these days. There are third-party tools for profiling. They're not a part of Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. Okay, we got this commit in. We've got 15 minutes left. What can we get done in 15 minutes? We need this data representation. 16 pretty much is standard now. You would think so when you go to buy a computer, if you don't know what you're doing, the default is 8. The default is 8 unless you switch to 16. So the default should be 16, but most computers, if you just buy them without making any adjustments, you end up with 8 gigabytes, which is what happens to most of my students. Most of my students, their parents, so 10 to 14, their parents will buy them. A lot of them get MacBook Pros. They get a computer and their computer say, oh, it's, the $1,500 computer. Certainly this will be good enough. And it comes with, we looked at it today, 256 gigabytes hard drive and 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's what the $1,600 MacBook Pro comes with. That's like the default. It comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabyte hard drive. And so my students are constantly running out of space and unable to run all this software. Can't afford software, but buying the most C# Fritz. I'm talking about my students. I'm not saying they can't afford software. I'm saying we focus on teaching them. We have chosen the computer science people, the programming people, the people who teach programming. We have said we want to teach them one tool. And the tool we've chosen is Visual Studio Code. And then as they go between classes, we don't have to teach them more tools. They take the first programming class they take. If they're taking a second year programming course or a second term programming course, a second level programming course, we know that they know how to open up a terminal. We know that they know how to use command line stuff. We know how, when we say open up a workspace or open up a folder or install an extension, we know they know how to do that. We don't have to teach it again in the next class. So that is the main reason we've chosen Visual Studio Code, and it runs on all the operating systems. Talif says, I actually just upgraded my PC of 15 years. Nice. Software should be allowed to cost money. Software should absolutely be allowed to cost money. Shai says, I'm scared of the command line. Don't be afraid. Learn the command line. It's so helpful. I cannot live without the command line. I have people tell me, what are you doing the command? You doing that in the command line? Why are you using Git in the command line? I was like, because I can't use Git anyway. I can't use Git out of the command line. Seriously. Software used to be physical. It used to come in boxes. Disk 1 of 24 MJT. That's true. Do we have time to get anything else done? I kind of want to create a player object to represent where our player is on the screen and can we do this? Maybe we can get this done. Let's create a player object. Let's create a Capman. All right, Capman public class Capman. We'll probably write an abstraction about this, but Capman is going to have, all right, public floats. I keep floats. I want to use floats because I'm do stuff in public float X. This is our X position, public double Y. This is our position. And then we're gonna have a VX and VY. Do we even need a VX and VY? I feel like we want a VX and VY to determine which direction. No, this guy needs a direction that we're moving. Okay. And what I want to do is if I'm pressing a button, I want to be able to move Catman around on the screen. So do I have neighbor? Let's go with, let's add in direction, Catman direction. We're gonna be lazy. We're gonna be lazy. Public enum. We're speed running. Catman direction, up, down, left, right. Okay, up, down, left, right. Let's add in a public double speed. The direction we're going, we're gonna move in a direction. Public direction. Oh, hang on. Get set. These probably are gonna be private sets if I'm being honest. Get here. Why are you complaining? Public. Oh, I gotta give it a name. Direction. Current direction equals. Let's start out going left. Okay. Fritz, I'm not gonna price compare, but I know there are ThinkPads available for. Oh yeah, C# Fritz. The price of Macs compared to other hardware. You're paying for the, and I'm doing double quotes here, you're paying for cool. You're paying for that sleek Apple sticker that comes with it, which I believe they stopped doing. Let's do a set here. Okay. Let's add in a public double speed. Like this. We can make these knittable as well. Let's do public Catman int double X Catman. I just want to knit all of these things. If I'm being honest, let's start this out at. I don't know what speed we're gonna want to do here, but let's do a 10. 10F. I don't need an F there. Double. Need to figure out the row and row. Oh, so this is interesting because this is their X and Y, but like what row and what column are they in is really interesting here. Public void. I kind of want to tick. Let's go with update. Update. We're gonna move in the direction we're going. Speed 10 is gonna be way too fast here. Let's do 1. Okay. And for now I'm gonna do X equals X plus speed. So this is like our speed per frames. We need to figure out the duration. It's gonna be multiplied by our time delta, I believe. Times raylib dot import raylib. Raylib dot get time frame time. Time in seconds for last drum frame. So this is how fast we're in 1 space per so now our tiles here, now it's making more sense. Let's go with board render dot cell size times. I'm being lazy here. We're gonna move 1 cell per second here. Are you gonna accept students who choose to use Meta's Visual Google's in class to program? We had a whole conversation yesterday, Thursday or Friday morning at school. I'd say yesterday morning, but last week we had a whole talk about it. All right, so we have an update here this is essentially gonna be the thing that ticks. That's why I kind of want to call it tick. Update, and then let's have, this is a data representation. I kind of want to remove raylib from this equation altogether. So that way I can kind of write unit test for it. Let's do a double here, delta. And we're gonna pass this in. I would like for this to not have raylib associated with it, because I want to be able to port this to other things. Raylib is just our renderer. It's just the thing that's rendering. When we go to write a console version, I want to use the same logic I'm using here. The speed happens to be that we're going 1 cell per second. So delta here should be the number of seconds that have passed since the last update. We're gonna do this. Okay, let's do a draw here. So this animated sprite is part of our raylib library. I'm hacking together here. We're gonna have to refactor and clean up. I'm hacking quickly. Capman, do thing. I can't think of the name right now. Do a thing here. Do thing here. All right, this is probably gonna be part of Capman renderer or something along those lines. So we're gonna draw our Capman. We need a Capman here. Capman equals new cap. Oh, let's rename. Hang on, refactor. Capman sprite. Capman here is our actual Capman, new Capman. I need to specify, let's add some inits to these. Let's make this private init. Can I not do a set? Is this not allowed? Property actually already defined. Does init? Okay. I want this to be able to change, so I need to make this in the constructor. Public Capman. Doesn't matter. Let's get rid of this. We're moving fast. We're prototyping. Because we have 7 minutes left. 7 minutes to get this thing doing a thing in the thing with the thing. Capman.update. And then this is going to be the time since the last frame here. So this is where we'll pass in raylib.get time, get frame time. So the amount of seconds. Time in seconds for last frame drawn. I think this is supposed to be saying the time in seconds since the last frame drawn. We'll find out. And then this should be capman.x, capman.y. This apparently... Oh, does draw sprite take in integers? That is fascinating. That is really fascinating. I guess we'll have to do something better here than intify these. I'm gonna intify these. I don't think I like that. That's interesting. When we start, I want my capman.y to be equal to which column are we in? Board 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we start in row 23. Row 23. So our Y, too many things open. Our Y should be equal to 23 times board renderer dot cell size. And then our X position, well, this is going to be the top left corner. Our sprite, we have to center it. There's going to be a little bit more to do here as well. I don't think we're going to make it close to right. And we are in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like 14 and a half is the interesting thing. Capman.x equals 14 times board render.cell size. So we take up more space in a single spot. Let's try it. Did we hack in a Pac-Man that's moving to the right, apparently? Because X is going to be increasing. There he goes! There he goes! Packing his way across Pac-Land. Right through a wall. Right through a wall. Beautiful. All right, so our Catman here. We can figure out the speed delta here based on our direction. Okay, so our speed delta, we can use a switch statement here to do it. So float direction, direction delta is going to be equal to our current direction switch. And so we're going to say up. Ooh, this is interesting. This isn't quite where we're at. Left, we're going to be -1. We need sort of a row and column adjustment as well here. This is interesting. This is interesting. This should be our This is sort of like our X and Y. What have they done with the syntax? This would be a double, really an int, but let's go with int X, int Y. What syntax are you thinking, are you referring to? Left should be 0, -1. Float int, it's not them, it's me. It's me, I promise. It's a me problem. Right? Up. This is a switch expression. This is a switch expression. So what this is doing is I'm doing what's called a pattern match. I want to get the value of these based on this. So it says when I have this thing on the left, do the thing on the right. So this is a switch expression. And then I'll say here, throw new exception. For now, I should probably do a better type of exception. Unknown direction. I like these. What's wrong with this? Do you prefer the original switch pattern? You'd prefer just a set of switch cases? I think this is a really nice syntax. And then we want to add in. Why are you complaining? Oh, this should be our dx feels wrong. dy, I need better variable names for this. Times dx, y equals y plus speed times delta times dy. Okay. Now what we can do is when we press keys, I think it reads really well. I actually think this reads really well and is tight and consistent. Syntactical sugar, yeah, it is absolutely syntactical sugar. I think that I like how sweet it tastes. I like how sweet it tastes here. I want to quickly add in a raylib, do a thing while here before we draw. Handle inputs. Void handle input, and then we're gonna find someone to raid. Suggestions, start getting your suggestions for who we're gonna raid in the chat. I've been trying, and so you know, I've been trying to do new people. So if you know someone who's new to streaming, just starting out in the last year, last couple months, maybe a month or two, that's who I'm looking to raid. So if you know someone cool to raid, someone you've been enjoying, I've been trying to raid smaller streamers to encourage them to keep streaming. We've had a big influx of game devs and programmers. If you know anyone, let me know, and we'll think about it. I have similar vibe with if without brackets. Something like it works perfectly, but will make someone refactor it sooner or later. I hate if statements without curly braces, for what it's worth. All right, raylib dot key. Oh, that's right. Is key down. I wrote a thing for this. I hate this. I hate this. We'll do it for now. Is key down. Keyboard code dot. I'm gonna go with W. And we're gonna set Capman. Terminator's left napalm codes. Get out! Get out! You're fired. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Get out of here. Current direction is gonna be equal to our up. I hate this so much. D, we'll refactor. I just want to get it working for now. Left. And S is going to be down. All right, can we move our pack on the screen? And let's make our speed, we need to be faster. Let's do three cells per second. Ternary is weird. That happens to be the only ternary operator in C#. Ternary is our life. There we go. Something terrible is going. My up and down and left and right are reversed. Hang on. Left. Oh! Smab, I hope you didn't see me make this mistake. Smab, go away if you're here. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing. All right, here we go. There we go. We got our pack. Our pack. We'll get up knowing the animation and stuff. It is reversed, man. It was reversed. Programmer Jeff, welcome to the stream. Programmer Jeff, thank you for being here today. You know, Programmer Jeff, I'm so glad you're here. Programmer Jeff, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Why am I moving so slow? Why am I moving so slow? Why doesn't this... Did I set my speed over here or something? Why am I... or maybe I'm actually moving... That is... There we go. That feels like the right speed. There we go. There we go. We can go through walls, though, so it doesn't... It's not that so cool, but we got a pack. We got a pack here. We got a pack going. Hang on. Let me see if I can get on... Oh, yeah. Look at that pack. Look at that pack go. Waka, 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 waka. We're going to have the directions and whatnot fixed here. I don't know how to make the Pac-Man look like he's going to... Wall hack, man. It's true. It's true. All right, folks. We got to wrap it up. I got to get to work. We did some hacks. Git, commit, -m. Chore, committed, programming, atrocities. All right. Terrible commit message. Don't do that. Don't do what I do. Do better. Be better. Folks, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. We're going to find someone to raid into here. I appreciate you beautiful people being here. I'm going to try to raid someone new. Been trying to raid someone new. We'll see if we can find someone. I'm totally open to suggestions. Lynch makes games. I haven't been over there in a while. Let's see. Who do we got? Who's new? Who's new and recommended? Let's see. They don't always, the new people don't always put game dev in here. Yeah, they don't game or indie. Like I wish. No one uses the tags very well. So it's hard for me to find people who are doing game dev here. Co-working, this is game dev. Kiro Team has 24 followers. Let's go check out Kiro Team. Unity Coder, thank you for the suggestion. Do a quick look here. I'm Itter, an indie game developer who owns a tiny studio called Kiro Team. We're working on Suono's Curse, an action platform. Awesome. We're gonna give a raid when we get there. Give them some love, folks. Let's give a raid. When we get there, let them know Unity. We're gonna say Unity Coder sent us. Show us your game. All right. When we get there. Here we go. When we get there, Unity Coder sent us, show us your game. That's our raid call today, folks. Thank you guys so much for being here. Copy paste that if you would, give them some love. All right, folks, remember, keep coding, keep growing, keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.